Hi, everyone. This is Gingera, and welcome to episode number 11 of the New Players Podcast, My Booking Story. Today, I am joined by RaeAnne Boon, who you might recognize from her show School Spirits, where she plays Dawn. You might also recognize RaeAnne from Virgin River or Firefly Lane. Today, we're going to talk to her about her booking story behind School Spirits. We're going to speak to her a little bit about her very first audition, what brought her into acting, as well as some incredible advice that she gives to anybody who is listening who might be a newer actor or even an actor who hasn't booked in a while. So stay tuned. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the New Players My Booking Story podcast. Today, I am joined by the wonderful RaeAnne Boon. I'm so excited to have you here today, RaeAnne. You might recognize her from School Spirits, where she plays Dawn, and she also has a couple other exciting projects coming up that we're going to talk about. So, how are you doing today, RaeAnne? Nice to see you.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. We're really excited to jump into the interview with you today. Do you want to just start us off with your booking story? I'm sure we'd love to hear your booking story for School Spirits.
Yeah, honestly, it's actually a pretty crazy story. I feel like with this one, all the stars kind of aligned in like kind of a crazy way. I was at a point in my career where I was just like so done. Like I was like, there's no hope. I'm never gonna get anything. Like I had been auditioning for like what, probably like 6 or 7 years at this point. Like I was just like I was in the trenches.
Mhm.
And I was actually supposed to go on a family vacation. And like right before I was supposed to leave that night, I get an audition for School Spirits. It was for Dawn. And I remember thinking, and I was like, I might regret this one and just go on my trip. It
Wow.
was so like, and I've never regretted any audition that wasn't like, the subject matter was weird. Like there was nothing going on. It was just I wanted to go on my trip and I was just like, I'm not going to get this one. What's the point? And I
Mhm.
almost regretted it. And I was like, you know what? No, I'll postpone my trip. I'll leave in the morning instead of the night before. And I called up my friend and I was like, can you help me tape this at like 7 a.m. tomorrow?
Wow.
So, and I thank God because meanwhile, my agent at the time, Rebecca, she was like fighting casting to see me for this part. She was like, you have to see RaeAnne. She's going to be so good at this. And I had no idea. I'm so glad I didn't regret it. Um,
Yeah.
so the next morning, I like taped the thing, sent it off, didn't even think about it, like went on my trip. And then when I was away, I found out I was pinned for the role. And I was like, oh, whatever, I get pinned all the time, nothing happens. So,
Mhm.
but I really tried to like stay away from my phone. I didn't want to like jinx the energy. So I like left my phone like in another room all day, like never checked my phone.
Yeah.
And I just like did my trip, heard nothing. And I was the day I came back, I found out I had a callback. And they're like, okay, here's another scene and the callback's like tomorrow or something. And then I started noticing, and I've never said this on an interview before, and I wonder if Nate and Megan are going to see this, but I started noticing the executives were watching my Instagram stories. And
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay, so they know who I am. Like,
Yeah.
so that was just like, I felt a lot more confident going into the callback, knowing that they like, okay, they were like creeping me. Like, they were trying to figure out, like, what's going on. And it's actually funny because the reason why they were looking at my social media was they were looking at pictures of me with red hair because I used to have red hair like when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And they wanted Dawn to have red hair. So they were like deep diving in my Instagram to find these photos to see if that's something like that could work for the
Yeah.
look. But anyways, then I did the callback and the callback just went so well. I knew immediately
Was it on
in the
Zoom, like
it
a
was on Zoom,
callback?
yeah. Yeah, it was on Zoom, and I had my best friend Morgana read with me again. She did the first audition, then she read with me again on the Zoom callback. And yeah, like I knew immediately after that callback was done that the part was mine.
That's amazing. It's so interesting how like sometimes the energy just like clicks and you're like, no, I know it. That is such a fun story. Wow, I can't believe you almost didn't do the audition at all.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, so just in like a bad headspace about the industry that I was just like, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And
Yeah.
I like, thank God I just did it. And I just showed up and I just did it, and we're all actors at the point in our careers where we can just do the audition. It takes 5 minutes. It's not
Yeah.
actually like this big. derail my whole life thing. And I'm so, so thankful. It changed my life doing that audition. So,
100%. I mean, I feel like what you said is so relatable and real, though. Like, I think so many actors do feel that way because when you're sending things off consistently, or if you're getting pinned consistently, and then there's nothing going on, I don't know. It's like it's so funny because it's like the classic tale. I think I've heard of so many actors who are like, I was about to quit, and then this came through, and then I feel like you have to be genuinely like frustrated, or you have to be genuinely about to quit. Like you can't stage it because I also know actors that are like, maybe if I say I'm gonna quit, then I'll book the next one. You know what I mean? It's such a weird, odd science how that happens. So that's awesome. So what year was that the audition happened?
oh, I think this was 2022. So it's been, I've been Dawn for almost 4 years now. So that's also been kind of a crazy evolution of like growing up with a character and being with her for so long too. And as I grow as a person, as an artist, like how does she change? And so that's like been very fun and interesting too, that I've never experienced in my career in any other work, was just being with a character for so long.
No, that's really amazing. That's such a exciting experience because I'm sure that Dawn is a part of you now. Like it feels, it must come really naturally, and you guys are kind of like growing up together, I guess, is maybe how it feels too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly like that.
So when did you start in the industry? Because you said you had been auditioning for like 6 or 7 years. Were you like a teen actor? Did you start when you were in school?
I was like a teen actor. I started in Calgary. I grew up in Lethbridge, Alberta. So I would like get my mom, God bless her,
Yeah.
to drive me to Calgary to like go to auditions for like one line roles when I was like a teenager, for like the shows that filmed in Calgary. At the time, it's like Heartland was like the big show, but like there really wasn't much in the industry when I was growing up. And yeah, and then I moved to Vancouver and went to film school, and it took me a really long time to like start getting anything really.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool. I didn't know you're an Alberta girl. I'm an Alberta girl too. I'm from Banff.
oh, I Banff's gorgeous. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I
What
lo
a
I
place to
love
grow up.
Yes, I remember I went to a gymnastics competition once in Lethbridge, and there was a water slide at my hotel. And that's all I really remember about Lethbridge. And I was like, this is amazing. But that's so
Yeah.
sweet. What a great mom. She took you to Calgary, the big city. When I was young, I also thought Calgary was like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Calgary.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
so cool to like go there
Yeah.
and like go to the, like with my little headshot printed, like go to the audition.
Yeah. That's incredible. Do you remember your first audition by chance?
I do. It was for a series. It was called Young Drunk Punk, and it was like a comedy show that filmed in Calgary. And it was for, I think it was like a girl with a ticket or something, and she was like at like some concert or something, and she's like, "Oh my God." Oh, I do remember the line. She said, "We got 90th row. Does Maxwell even have a 90th row?"
Oh my gosh,
That's it.
that's amazing that you remember. I love that you remember your not even like your first audition, but your first like lines that you said in
I,
your audition. That's honestly like top tier amazing. I've never had somebody I don't remember my first lines. That's so cool.
it was a big deal for me to like get to have like an audition.
Oh
So
my
it's
gosh,
just
I bet.
funny, and then fast forwarding so many years later, and I'm like, oh fuck, another
Yeah.
audition.
Like more auditions. Yeah, no, that's so cool. So, speaking on like you said, you were pinned for a long time. You kept like you were feeling really disgruntled and kind of like over it, I guess is what you were saying. How do you feel like you deal with the rejection of the industry? I know at that point in time you were kind of like, I just want to like take a big break, it sounds like, but is there any like things that you do when you're feeling kind of run down by constant auditions and not seeing so many results?
There's two things that I've implemented that I've found have given me a lot of peace. And the first one is meditation.
Mm.
Like I always like kind of was like sleeping on meditation. I never thought it was like that powerful. It's like, oh, you just like sit in silence or whatever. But actually started implementing it, and I try to do it every day. And I feel like that's just really grounded me and made me able to find joy and happiness and fulfillment in my life outside of acting.
Hmm.
And I think that's just helped give me a lot more peace in the industry that I'm like, I feel like I'm okay either way. You know,
Yeah, that's a really
if I
powerful.
never book anything ever again, I'll be
Hmm.
okay. It's fine. It's not like my whole worth as a human does not exist in acting, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. And then the second thing was is I got into producing. So I started producing projects for other people. I produce at Sepia Films and I produce like my own projects too. And I feel like that's really satisfied my need to control everything.
Oh,
And
okay. Wait, are you a
knowing,
Virgo?
no, I'm not. I'm a Libra, but I'm
Oh, you're a
close to.
Libra. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it just satisfies like that need to like know what everything's gonna be and control things and be organized and be in order that I don't get in acting, I
Yeah.
get in producing. So I feel like that's also really helped me to know like I could just make my own stuff. True. So
Yes. No, that's a really great way, I think, to kind of take the power back and the control because we have so little control as actors. It goes hand in hand with acting, but then it also gives you, the space to have a little bit more control. It helped you as an actor to produce in any way.
yeah, for sure. I feel like, and I think a lot of actors don't realize how important it is to know what everyone else does on set, to
Hmm.
know what all the crew members do, so they can help you, so you can ask the right people for the things you need, and just to understand that like a film set's so much bigger than just the acting. You know, there's so many moving parts. So to understand all these other jobs I think is just so valuable to the actor. And I want to make this is like I had this idea last week that my goal this year is to try to do a day as every single crew member job on set,
I
whether it's
love
on
that.
a short film or whatever, whoever will like let me come and like grip for a day or something, just so I can learn all these different positions and see like what their day to day looks like.
That's such
But
a
yeah,
great thing to want to do because I agree with you. I think a lot of actors don't know a lot about the different positions and all the like the wheels that are spinning to make a movie. It's so much more than just what we see visually or even the script that the actor gets because somebody has to build the set and somebody, like yeah, you got like the boom operator, you've got like the script supervisor, you like there's so many roles that go into making a movie and yeah, I think it just makes it a more strong actor to know everything.
yeah.
How are you doing on that journey? So this is my dog Nola. Like pounding
Hi.
around down there. Um, how are you on that journey? Have you done any other roles this year so far? Like other than like
In producing?
producing? Yeah.
Well, so I just had this idea last week. I was producing a short film, and I felt like so clueless in the camera department. Like with the camera gear, I was just like, did not know what anything was or where it went. And I had to like return the gear to whites. And I didn't, and they were like, okay, just checking that we have all these items. And I'm like, I don't even know what these items look like or
Mm,
anything. So that's where the idea came from. It's like, I need to learn what these lenses are, what these lights are. Like, I just wanted to just learn more. So it started, that was my idea last week. So it's still
okay,
very
okay, okay.
fresh,
So we're
but
still very new. No, I like that. I honestly
yeah.
think I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal your idea there because I so agree with that. I think that's something that like it can't hurt you. And I think education is important and being on set and knowing those things, I think you could really help everybody on set. Like you can help it run so much smoother.
Yeah, and it helps everyone and it helps me as a producer just to know.
Totally. So another thing you said when the interview first began was that you weren't checking your phone and you put it away because you didn't want to like disrupt the like juju and the energy and stuff. So my question for you is, are you a very like energy focused person? And my second question to that is, working on a show like School Spirits, do you do you feel any like kind of interesting like energies on set and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm such a witch. Like I love witchy stuff. I love my crystals. I read tarot cards. Like
Yeah.
I love like the energies and I just like didn't want to like jinx the energy from like checking my phone all the time and giving this like needy energy. So I was like I just need to like detach from it. And I think it's just so interesting because Dawn is exactly like me like that. Like she's
Yeah.
so witchy. She does like the seance in the first season and she like yeah, she's just so witchy, and we had like all these crystals in that scene. And I didn't when I first like auditioned to be Dawn, like that wasn't in the script. So I don't know if they like knew me and
Oh,
wrote that or if it
yes.
was just a funny coincidence that like Dawn is like this and I didn't even know about it and it
Yeah.
just aligned in that way. But yeah, no, I'm such a witch. I like love all that kind of
I
stuff.
am too. Oh
I
my gosh. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've got like my bowl of crystals. I got my tarot cards. When it was 11/11, like I'm like, gotta make a wish.
I wish I stole. We had like all these like crystals in that seance scene, and I wanted to take one home with me, and I didn't. And I was that's
Oh,
rats is not stealing a crystal from that scene.
oh my gosh. Well, maybe in the future you can you can grab a crystal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's like have you I don't know if this is kind of off topic, but have you heard about Pele, like the goddess of fire in Hawaii?
No.
So there's this lore that if you take a lava rock from Hawaii and bring it home, then like you're just gonna turn unlucky and a bunch of things like bad things happen. And when I was younger, someone gave me a book and it was like everybody sending back their lava rocks to Hawaii because all this bad stuff kept happening to them. So I
Mhm.
don't know, maybe if you took a crystal, it would have, I don't know, maybe it would have like given you bad luck or something. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
there's a
no, I
reason you
think
didn't take it.
it was meant to be in storage or wherever it went or yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned that you were filming a movie in Ireland. Are you able to talk about that film at all?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this was like 1 or 2 years ago now. We did a movie in Ireland. It's called The Lightkeeper. It's like a 1900s period drama. It's about like grief and moving forward. And it was just like such an incredible experience. I mean, I'd never been to Ireland before. I don't think I would ever go to Ireland. I don't
Mm.
like have any like family heritage there or anything. So just the opportunity to get to travel there was like incredible. And we filmed this scene like on this little fishing boat in like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And it was like
Whoa.
so wavy and the water is like so blue. It looks like you're in like, like the Dominican or something. Like the water is so turquoise. It's crazy. So it's just like such an incredibly beautiful experience getting to work on this movie and just like being in Ireland.
No, that sounds like an absolute dream come true, literally. I mean, was that Northern Ireland? Because I know that yeah,
Yeah, it was like the furthest, most northern point of Ireland, basically, is where we were.
that is so cool. Yeah, I went to Ireland and I remember same thing because I was in Northern Ireland and there the water was turquoise and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I had no idea that the Irish Sea was blue like this. But that's fun. I feel like you're getting cast in a lot of from what I'm picking up from what this movie is about, and then obviously Dawn and School Spirits. It sounds like a lot of like folklore type, like kind of like
Mhm.
I don't know. It sounds like
Yeah.
you got like a hit there.
Yeah. Yeah. I never thought of it like that, but like so true. And just like folklore connection to like the earth and spirit and stuff like that. Yeah, I always felt like I'm like, I don't really have a typecast, but maybe that's what it is it kind of comes down to like more lore than like a specific personality.
Yeah, I don't know, or maybe it's because you're already so connected to those things. Maybe, the acting world draws you in. I'm not sure. I mean, to me, Ireland just reminds me of fairies and all that stuff. So that's kind of why my
Hmm.
head goes there. And then my last question for you is, do you have any advice that you would want to give to any actors who are listening to this? Maybe like a newer actor or even somebody who's been acting for a while, but maybe they're in the same slump you were in when you booked the role of Dawn on School Spirits. Like, I don't know, it could be advice that you have or maybe the best piece of advice you were ever given.
Yeah, I think my piece of advice is just like keep going and keep being authentic to yourself, even when it feels scary, or if you feel like nobody gets it or nobody is receptive to your art or your work, like keep making those choices, keep putting yourself out there. I found like when I auditioned for School Spirits, I was so scared of the
Mm,
choice I made to make Dawn who she was, to give her the voice, to give her the mannerisms, to like do something so out of the ordinary.
hmm.
I was scared. I was like, oh my God, what if people think I'm weird? What if people like judge me? What if people like this wasn't the right choice? And I just urge any actor to just keep making those choices, keep being brave, because that's what we need in the industry is your bravery and your heart. And people aren't going to get, a lot of people aren't going to get it, but the
Yeah,
people that do will carry you. And the people that saw Dawn and loved her and have carried her through this series and through the fans. And I thought people were going to hate Dawn. I thought people were going to think she was weird and annoying and all these things. And I was like, oh my God, like people are going to like judge me. And everyone loves Dawn. Like literally, the fans love Dawn.
that's
And I think it attests to just being like authentically, she's authentically herself. And by default, I have to then be authentically myself.
that's such amazing advice. And I love learning that little piece of, yeah, like it sounds like you shared your own vulnerability through Dawn.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's so beautiful that it was, yeah, that she's received so well, and that then you also have learned to push your own self, I guess it sounds like, further and push the boundaries. And I think as actors in today's like modern world, I think it can be scary to make choices, and I think it can be daunting, especially when you're sending in so many tapes. And I think there's a lot of like pressure for people to like be like, oh, cool, or like CW acting where it's like very like subdued and all that kind of thing. But I think choosing to be quirky and fun and bring something unique to the character, it's like their casting's gonna watch it and they're gonna be like, there's something about that. Like there's something interesting, and that's clearly what you brought and why you got the role and why everybody loves you and Dawn. And that's such I just love to, yeah, hear that. That's really great advice.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you again so much for joining us today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I don't know, it's raining over there, but it's raining over here, so
Oh,
rain.
thanks. No, I think it's okay today. I think it's not raining, so like knock on wood the first time.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks again, RaeAnne, for joining us. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me. Okay, bye.